What up, guys? It's Dave coming back to you in podcast form. It's probably the second time I did it. Let me know if you guys like it, or if you prefer the floating head, me talking to you on the camera, or just stick with the technique videos. But here we are. I wanted to give you guys some advice. This isn't really a technique, but I think it will improve your game. If you're that's not putting up the wins like you want, maybe you're taking third place, maybe you're not hitting the podium at all. I just want to give you guys some advice, to help you perform a little better. And my big advice is steroids. Oh, no. So don't take steroids. Keep it clean. Guys, I want to help you improve your competition success. Who am I to tell you? Guys, if you search me out, I'm sure you'll find a couple of Fight to Win videos. I'm sure you'll find me, Naga, ibjjf. You'll find that I won some stuff. Yeah. But let's talk about how you can have better placing at your tournaments, wherever you decide to compete. And it all counts. Don't let anybody tell you that your tournament doesn't count just because it's not ibjjf or ADCC or somewhere. Like, if you showed up and you fought another human being, it counts. All right? So that's my first bit of advice. But on to how to improve your game. First things first, cardio. Guys, you need to be hitting that assault bike before the tournament. You need to be getting your rounds in for the tournament. You need to be jogging before the tournament. And not just jogging, but sprinting while you're jogging. Something I like to do is running uphill. Like, I'll sprint as hard as I can going uphill, and then I'll go down. Then I'll sprint as hard as I can, and I'll keep doing that over and over, and that replicates jiu-jitsu. You'll see it goes slow, and then there's a burst. And then it slows down, and then it bursts again. And that replicates the match. Burst uphill, and then you walk back down, and then burst up the hill, and then walk back down. So guys, really working that cardio. Making sure you're eating right, so you don't have that bloated feeling while you're on the mat, which also hurts your cardio. So guys, running uphill, jogging, assault bike, because you got to have your cardio. Once you're tired out there, the rest of the stuff I'm going to tell you, don't even worry about it, because you don't have the gas. I don't care if you're driving a Corvette. If there's no gas in it, it's not going to go. So guys, make sure your gas tank is full. Which leads me to my second bit of advice. Always have a blueprint. Always have a blueprint. Always have a plan of what you're going to do. So many times I talk to guys and I ask them, well, what's your plan? What's your opener? They look at me like, huh? Or they're like, oh, I'll just feel it out. Imagine if you go to your mechanic. He's going to fix your car. And he just says, oh, I'll just feel it out. Nah, I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm just going to feel it out. I'm just take stuff off, put stuff on, replace stuff until I get it. And maybe I'll get it. And I'll charge you for all the work I do. That'd be the worst mechanic in the world, right? You would never go back to that guy. Am I right? So when you show up to your mechanic and you tell him, oh, this and that's wrong, he has a plan of how he's going to fix this thing. He's not just going to go out there and just do something. And you shouldn't do that on the mat. Before that match starts, you should know what your opener is, what you plan to do for this match. And when I say opener, I mean, how are you going to start the match? Your opener could be the John Smith low single. I'm going to hit everybody with the low single. Okay, now let's build a blueprint off of that low single. You walk out, you low single, great, you got them. Maybe that's option A. You went out there, switched levels, shot, got them down 2 points. Great. Now, maybe this time you shot, got sprawls on you. Now we got option B. What do we do? Boom, we hit the peek out. Boom, we hit the arm drag. Now we're building a blueprint. Maybe I shoot and I got sprawls, but his head is closer to my feet. So now I can lift him. Now his legs are light, and I can lift him off the mat. What option C? Now we got option A, B, and C off of one move. All right. Now we're building this blueprint. Maybe you wanna pull guard. Okay, what guard? I'm gonna pull close guard. Okay, great. Now let's build a pathway on that. Okay, I pull close guard. All right, now what? Now we can talk about, what else are we talking about here? Our finishing sequences. All right, you got this person in the spot that you wanted them. Either you hit the low single and you took them down 2 points, or you pulled them into the guard that you wanted to be in. Okay, that's great. Now let's talk about finishing. All right, let's say you hit your low single, and now, okay, my plan is to footlock them. All right, so you hit the low single, boom, 2 points, and then you drop back for single leg X. All right, to finish with the straight footlock. Okay, let's call that option A1. All right, you finished the low single, you made it on top, got your 2 points, and now you're dropping back for the single leg X to finish with the footlock. All right, and now you're continuously building your blueprint. Okay, let's say the guy hops over my single leg X foot. Okay, I'll go reverse ashi into the knee bar. All right, now let's call that B2 for the blueprint. You see how we're building now? We're building this blueprint, right, to defeat this guy. All right, let's say you're the guard puller. Oh, my opener was to pull guard and hit the arm bar. Okay. So you went for the arm bar. The guy threw up the Mataleon defense and trying to stack you up. Okay, maybe I'll switch to omoplata. Okay, let's call that B2. All right. Now we're building this blueprint. We have a game plan. We're not just feeling it out. We're not just going haphazardly into this. Imagine if your doctor said, I'm just going to feel it out. I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to just start cutting and moving and flipping things around. You're not going to that doctor, right? Absolutely not. That doctor needs to have a game plan. Yeah? He cannot just feel it out. And it's the same thing on the mats. Don't just feel it out. Have a game plan. Have your finishing sequences. Also, those basics or that fundamental jujitsu, you need to be getting that in. All right? You need to be working that stuff. All that 30-year-old game that you guys don't want to do anymore, you just want to run in and do the K guard and all this. Like, there's a reason that game is 30 years old. Imagine going to prison and it's a guy that's been there for 30 years. That's probably somebody you don't want to mess with, right? If he could survive 30 years. So there's a reason that this game is 30 years old. It's because it works. And it's deadly. And it's been deadly. And it's going to keep on being deadly. And when the new trickery fails you, hey, you're going to go back to that old school stuff. That shrimping up and down the mat. Hey, now it's time to do it. Hey, those inversions, it's time to do it. All that hip bump sweeps, all that, it's time to do it now. Because I can't promise you that your blueprint, like, nobody's going to find a hole in it. You're going to get on that mat and maybe that guy just he can find the hole that your training partners couldn't find. He finds that hole and now, all crap, you got to go into that 30-year-old game. Now you got to do all this stuff. Now you got to escape. You got to do all the escapes from the classes that you want to skip. And just come in and roll. Like, oh, now you got to do all this stuff. All the stuff you did once and then you never wanted to go back to it again. Like, now you have to do it again. So, to my next point, guys. Train for the time. A lot of times, people are telling me, oh, I trained for 2 hours tonight. I trained for 3 hours. I was getting it in. I got 3 a day in. I'm good. We're going to win this thing. I mean, going 3 hours, 2 hours, that's great. But I want to know what you did in the first 5 minutes. If I read the rules and your match time is 5 minutes, I want to know what you did in 5 minutes. I'm going to put the clock on and you're going to go for 5 minutes. I don't want you doing those death matches that you see at the gym. You know, the guys have been going for 20, 30 minutes. Nobody can tap the other one. And they just going and going and going. None of that when we're tournament prepping. I know that's fun. But none of that when we're trying to get ready for a tournament. All right? When we're getting ready for a tournament, and the rules say my match is 5 minutes, I need to take account of what's happening in 5 minutes. So we set the clock, 5 minutes, okay, slap, bump, roll. I'm going into that game plan we talked about, that blueprint. I'm going straight into that blueprint. All right, whatever it was. I say it's get to close guard and armbar the guy. Okay, so I'm going straight into it. I grab the collar, I pull guard. All right, and I'm fishing for that armbar because remember that was our finishing sequence, the armbar. All right, we're going to see how this guy defends, and we're going to take note of that, and we're going to see how we're going to counter that. That's how we're building the blueprint. All right, and in 5 minutes, I need to know who was up on the score. And did you tap him? Or how many times did you tap him? Did he pass your guard? You need to take account of these things. Like, if that was a match, who won? You need to walk away and say, yeah, he won 2-0, or I won 2-0. Oh, I tapped him in 3 minutes. Oh, he tapped me in 3 minutes. You need to know these things, all right, to bulletproof that armbar. Because once we get to the tournament, it needs to be as bulletproof as we can get it. That armbar needs to be, your game plan needs to be solid and straight to it. After this, everybody go watch Bernardo Faria compete. Go watch Bernardo Faria. I believe, 5-time world champion, couple times Pan American champion, way before BJJ Fanatics, all right? He walked out there and he did the same thing every match. Every match. It was the same exact thing. Pull half guard, deep half. And then he had a game plan from there. No matter what you did, he had a blueprint. If you did this, he did that. If you did that, he did this. And he had your number. Whatever response you had, his training partners already fed him those responses. So he has an answer to it. He knows the answers. So once he's in that spot, it's going to be real hard for you to shake him off because he's seen every response to that spot. He doesn't need to know 1,000 different things. He's condensed it into this one spot. Deep half guard. Deep half guard. That's it. He did it every match. And beat studs. And that's what I want for you guys. I want you to drill down on your opener. Do it every match. Know every response to that one opener. Know it's not hard. Know that's not impossible. I mean, jiu-jitsu is pretty vast. But if I'm plugging you into one specific game, it shrinks it down a little. It shrinks it down a lot, actually. Back to Bernardo Faria. I mean, once the match starts, there's an infinite amount of paths that could be taken. But if Bernardo's forcing you down one path, and he knows every twist and turn and up and down of that path, then you're in trouble. Whoever's fighting him is in trouble. And he's proven that. Like, he's beaten some tough individuals, guys. And that's why I get the idea of having the game plan. All right? Make sure your coach knows the game plan. My next bit of advice. You can't be the only one that knows the game plan. If coach is going to coach you, he needs to know, like, what you're thinking and where you're going and what you're trying to accomplish out there. If it's get to close guard and armbar this guy, he can't be over there yelling out Kimura. He can't be over there yelling out cross collar choke setups. He knows you guys drilled down on the armbar. So get the armbar. So he's going to be yelling out ways for you to get to that armbar. And if the Kimura is gift wrapped, then yeah, take the Kimura. Take the cross collar. But he needs to know the plan. He needs to be shouting out time. 5-minute match. He needs to be there. All right, a minute. You got 2 minutes left. Oh, 3 minutes. Oh, 4 minutes left. So you can know what's going on. Say, okay, I'm running out of time. Let me just sweep the guy and get the points. I can know what's going on. And guys, finally, last bit of advice, clear your mind. Clear your mind. There's a concept called mushin, which means no mind. All right? If you read the Book of Five Rings, it's called The Void, where you're not, tense. You're not, oh my God, what's going to happen to me? You're just flowing. You're not thinking about the time. You're not thinking about the score. You're not thinking about how jacked this guy's muscles are. You're just in your groove, doing the thing that you drilled over and over and over and over and over, drilling that same game plan, that same takedown, that same sweep, that same submission that you've drilled over and over and over. That's what you're doing out there, guys. Clear your mind. Bruce Lee said, be water. Be water. Water can flow. It can crash. It can turn into steam. It can boil. It can freeze. Be water. All right? So, guys, I hope this helps you in your next tournament. Hope this helps you compete. Hope this helps you get on the podium at whatever tournament you're at. Guys, follow me at David Adams BJJ on all your social media. I'm Dave. Peace.